In 2012, a 19-year-old student of UNC Chapel Hill, Faith Hedgepeth, was brutally murdered in her off-campus apartment. In the past, the killing of Faith Hedgepeth had sparked many concerns and left everyone disturbed. Faith Hedgepeth was a descendant of the Haliwasopona, which is a Native American tribe. The state of North Carolina recognizes it. She was born in 1992 and raised in Warren County, and it is within the locality of the tribe's traditional area. Less than a year after Faith was born, her parents got separated. Then she grew up in Hollister, a Warrenton, solely by her mother, Connie Hedgepeth. Connie's older sister, who assisted her in raising Faith Hedgepeth, was her sole rock. Faith's aunt tried to support her and Connie as long as she could. Connie Hedgepeth had 2 boys, a daughter, and a husband with a drug addiction problem, so she decided to name her 4th child Faith. Faith had proven herself to be the most thoughtful and most intelligent student throughout her educational career. She was an honor student who participated in almost every other high school activity, like volunteering, charity work, and worked for extracurricular clubs and organizations. Faith Hedgepeth was shortlisted for the scholarship program at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. She worked very hard and excelled well enough to receive a Gates Millennium Scholarship. Her father was also a dropout of the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. She aspired to be the first to earn a college diploma in her family. She pondered continuing her education to become a pediatrician or a teacher after completing her undergraduate degree. She used to live with her female friend in a shared apartment. Since freshman year, Karina Rosario and her boyfriend Eric Takoy Jones have been friends with Faith Hedgepeth. Jones and Rosario's relationship had been marred by domestic violence, and she ultimately stopped it and walked out. He did, however, attempt to break into the flat twice in early July 2012, despite Rosario changing the locks. Faith Hedgepeth finally took Rosario to court to obtain a protection order prohibiting Jones from entering the residence. Jones is said to have hated Hedgepeth's influence over his ex-girlfriend. Faith was working in a restaurant named Red Robin near the Durham border. During a phone call with Hedgepeth, Eric Takoy Jones once threatened to murder her if she came between Rosario and him. Rosario, who lived in the Hawthorne at the View apartment complex on Old Chapel Hill Road on the Durham-Chapel Hills border, allowed Faith Hedgepeth to live with her until she could relocate into her own place. After a month, was having Hedgepeth stay with her. According to investigators, Faith Hedgepeth went to a rush event for Alpha Pi Omega around 6 p.m. on Thursday, September the 6th, 2012, the day before she was murdered, and then proceeded to Davis Library on the UNC campus with her friend and roommate Karina Rosario. Both friends, Faith Hedgepeth and Karina Rosario, came back home around 7:30 p.m. But they wanted to enjoy the night and decided to go outside that night. On September the 7th, the girls walked out of the house after midnight and headed to The Thrill, a Chapel Hill nightclub on Rosemary Street. They arrived at 12:40 a.m. according to surveillance footage. Rosario informed the police that she did not feel okay, and the two were seen fleeing from the nightclub at 2:06 a.m. on security footage. They went back to Rosario's place. At approximately 4:25 a.m., Rosario told police officers she left the residence and was fetched up by two male companions, abandoning Faith Hedgepeth alone in the bedroom. Rosario admitted to leaving the door unlocked. A friend, Marisol Rangel, picked up Rosario and returned to her apartment at 11 a.m. They called Faith Hedgepeth's name and saw Faith laying on the mattress with blood underneath her head, and they both freaked out. At 11:01 a.m., Rosario dialed 911 urgently. Her friend was unconscious, and Rosario told the officials that the room was covered with blood everywhere. The operator repeatedly requested for her to check on Faith's breathing because Rosario might possibly be able to assist her. Still, Rosario refused to touch her, and when Rosario notified the operator, the Hedgepeth was chilly to the touch. Rosario was told by the operator and was urged to leave the body and not touch anything. According to a search warrant issued in 2014, authorities discovered Faith's half-naked body laying off the bed, face up, wearing just a black shirt that was lifted up over her neck. A bloodied Bacardi rum bottle and a scribbled message on a fast food bag beside Hedgepeth's corpse on the bed that just said, "I'm not stupid bitch, jealous," has also been discovered by police. Leho has also stated that she believes the murderer wrote the message. It was also highlighted that Faith Hedgepeth, a girl, and two males were having a furious debate inside the club. The conversation was just an hour before she was slain, according to a 2016 pocket dial voicemail obtained by News and Observer journalists. According to Hedgepeth's father, one of the voices was Faith. Police Assistant Chief Celisa Leho stated the other voices had been recognised, but she would not name them. Eric Corey Jones, which was under a protection order to refrain from Rosario's home, and Brandon Edwards, who was also pals with Hedgepeth, have also been suspected by police. On the day Faith's brutally murdered body was discovered, officers found text exchange between him and Hedgepeth. According to autopsy results disclosed to the public in September 2014, Faith Hedgepeth's skull was bludgeoned so severely that forensic experts ruled she died from blunt force trauma. There were also scrapes and bruises on her legs and arms, as well as blood beneath her fingernails, according to the report. Blood had splashed over the walls and the closet door, in contrast to the pooling beneath Faith Hedgepeth's head. The lethal weapon, according to police, was a Bacardi peach rum bottle that was placed in the kitchen. Tissue pieces and DNA were found in the bottle, and semen was taken from Faith Hedgepeth's body. In 2016, police informed ABC News and claimed it's much more than probable that Faith Hedgepeth was sexually assaulted and then brutally murdered. Miguel Salguero Oliveros, 28, of Durham, was arrested on first-degree murder, charging Faith Hedgepeth's killing on September 16, 2021, by the Chapel Hill Police Department. Miguel was not a suspect at first, but after being arrested for drunken driving in Wake County the previous month, he was verified through DNA evidence. The police encouraged the public to be patient as they worked out the specifics in a statement. Faith Hedgepeth's murder was covered in many crime series, including 2020 in 2016 and Breaking Homicide on the Investigation Discovery Channel in April. Another story was covered on the famous murder mystery podcast Crime Junkie in October 2020. 9 years ago, Faith Hedgepeth was murdered in her off-campus residence, and authorities are still searching for her killer. Nearly 2,000 people were interviewed in the Faith Hedgepeth murder investigation over the course of 4 years. Multiple persons and organisations have donated more than $40,000 in prize money for information that would lead to an arrest, but the case is still unsolved. What do you think happened on that night? Please leave your comments down below.